莉玩游戏第3部《暴风之眼》第15章旅程。诺曼底色堡。
In the late summer of 1142, I had left my home country, England, for good. My old life lay in shambles, as did my former home of Kingsbridge. Having failed both my friends and family, I had set out to find my baby's father, the man I still loved with all my heart, Jack Jackson. And so early one morning in July, I finally arrived on the shores of Normandy. With nothing on me but a pouch of coin and a young, curious face yet unnamed, who was just as unfamiliar to this new world as was I.
所以他们这样是到哪里呢？白船，白船的沉没，莫拉号船长的儿子掌舵的白船。1066，所以刚刚一开始看到的1066是年份。从诺曼底入侵英格兰做的就是莫拉。这是什么新的讯息啊？白船相关的事情。但是白船它沉没了吗？连同船上很多王室后裔也一起。布洛瓦的史蒂芬，所以这个史蒂芬跟那个斯蒂芬是不一样的人吗？追随杰克的脚步到欧洲大陆。
You're still here?
Oh, it's you. I'm just trying to get my feet used to good solid ground again. The last bit of our voyage wasn't exactly my pint of ale.
我在找人。
I'm looking for someone. A red-haired mason called Jack Jackson. He came to France about a year ago or so.
A fellow mason? Great.
到法国。
Unfortunately, I wouldn't know a thing. After all, I just arrived here with you.
I know, but should you meet someone like that on your journey, tell him Aliena of Shiring is looking for him.
All right. Jack Jackson. I'll keep an eye out for you.
Thank you.
Jack Jackson， 你是个工匠吧？
That hammer you're carrying, do you happen to be a mason?
Actually, I am. You have a keen eye, mistress.
眼光
I guess
很
I
敏
just
锐。
know a mason when I
手
see
上
one.
有锤子就
To
是
be
工
honest,
匠。
I haven't been one long. Just finished my apprenticeship in Salisbury. Before that, I used to shear sheep with my parents. I guess that wasn't really for me. Father still hates me for leaving, though.
哦，工匠们都去哪里找工作？
What will you do to find work here as a mason?
Don't know. That's for me to find out. All I heard was that the wages are better over here.
So you'll just travel from town to town and look for employment?
Right. And I'll start in Lassay. A fellow mason told me about the abbey there. He said these Normans build their churches quite differently than we do back home. I need to see that with my own eyes. Maybe learn a thing or two.
哦，可能杰克去莱塞看修道院了。很多工匠都去莱塞吗？
Do many masons go to Lassay?
I don't know. It's really just a tiny town. The mason who told me just happened to do some repairs there once. It's likely he told others as well.
哦，好吧，该是说这句了。
I left my old life as well.
Scary, isn't it? To start off fresh and all that.
Well, you definitely sound more excited than scared.
Oh, I am excited. Wouldn't anyone be?
I don't know. Maybe.
离开。
Have a safe journey.
Oh, thank you. You too.
我可以问修道院怎么走吗？ 不是捷克。
What's the way to Lessay?
Well, that's quite far. Ask a maid to take you there by coach.
很远哦。要问他有没有看到捷
Good
克。
day.
哦，
I am looking for someone. A traveller who came through here last summer. Oh, hush now. I need to talk to this man.
Looks young.
He was born at the beginning of summer.
What's his name?
I haven't given him one yet.
You should. He needs to know who he is. Makes growing up a lot easier. You said you're looking for someone.
对，
I'm looking for the boy's father.
And from the look of your baby, I reckon his father has red hair like me, right? Well, I don't know every redhead around these parts. There are quite a few of us.
很法人很多
Most of
哦
my。family here in Cherbourg is ginger.
Oh, his name is Jack Jackson, and he is a mason.
No. No, sorry. I haven't seen him. And I come here every day. Maybe a maid saw him. She helps the sailors get their cargo
mean.
to the nearby towns. Carries travellers, too.
I'll ask her. Well, thank you.
哦，那艾美在哪里呢？这个吗？女车夫是不是？问他。
Have you seen a red-haired mason? He must have landed here sometime late last summer.
Another ginger in Normandy? I wouldn't have noticed, even if he was carrying a hammer instead of a fishing rod. Maybe you should ask someone in Barfleur. That's where all the travellers come through, the pilgrims and kings. Their lot rarely lands in Cherbourg, with the fortress passing back and forth between Stephen of Blois and Geoffrey of Anjou. Why you even came to Cherbourg in the first place baffles me.
It was the earliest ship I could get.
You must be in some hurry, madam.
Let's just say I needed to get away before I changed my mind.
Fine with me. Who am I to judge?
可能有人在巴尔夫勒见过捷克。巴尔夫勒，莱塞怎么走？
Do you know the road to Lessay?
Been there, seen it. But I hope you're not planning to go there on foot. Tell you what, you give me some coins and I'll treat you to me wagon. You can even change your destination once we're on the road. What'd you say?
哦，还有其他路线吗？
What other routes are there besides going through Barfleur?
Oh, I don't know, really. You need to ask the locals about that. But Barfleur sounds like a good place to start. Shake my hand and I'll take you there.
跟我握个手。好啊，走，走吧。
All right. Take me out of town.
All right. Where'd you need to be?
去哪呢？我可以先去。先去巴尔夫勒好了。
We went to Barfleur, a scenic port town built on granite. It was the biggest harbour in Normandy and the main entry point for the Normans to their new possession of the Isle of England.
就这样。
I talked to some of the sailors and fishermen, but no one had remembered seeing Jack. How could they? Almost a year had passed since he, a simple mason, had journeyed through the busy town, a town with no memory other than that of the last king who passed through on yet another one of his violent conquests.
如果这里红发人很多，那就真的很难找。
Maybe I was approaching this the wrong way. What had drawn him to France in the first place? The distance to Kingsbridge? Or something specific? What was my lead?
什么线索呢？所以去莱塞。
Lessay was tiny, but as it turned out, worth the trip. In the small abbey church of the Trinity, I met a monk who claimed to have talked to a man fitting Jack's description. He'd been fascinated by the abbey's rib vaulting and had asked the monks countless questions about the
所以他
place's
可能来过
construction.
哦。
The monk apologized that he couldn't tell me where Jack had traveled next, but I didn't mind. I lay down to sleep on the floor of the Abbey guest house and, for the first time in almost a year, I felt relief. As I drifted into sleep, I hugged our baby tight and whispered into his tiny pink ear, "We're going to find your daddy."
哇，就不能去那里嘞。所以这一章一定要找到就对了。
My father had once told me tales of the Mont Saint-Michel. Long ago, the Archangel Michael had urged Hubert of Avranches to build an abbey on a lonely rock on the ocean by burning a hole into his head. They say one can go and see his penetrated skull on display in the
大
church of
天
his
使米
hometown.
歇尔，
It was a windy day when I arrived, and the place was crowded with pilgrims and jongleurs. I remembered Jack's fascination with these tellers of stories. I spoke to one who was just taking a break. As it happened, he had indeed met Jack, although not in Mont Saint-Michel, but on a road heading east from there.
从这里往东，请问东边是？
Apparently, Jack had been hopelessly tracking jongleur who might have known his father, Jack Cherbourg. But as he'd been gradually running out of money, he'd intended to look for work in Le Mans or Tours. That was about 6 months ago. I was catching up.
勒芒或图尔，所以先去勒芒。哇，巴黎在那边。
Going to Le Mans reminded me of all the trouble I'd left behind in England. 30 years ago, Le Mans had been conquered by the Plantagenet Geoffrey of Anjou, Maud's husband. And although they'd held it ever since, other noble families kept on pulling at the city, like Maud and Stephen tearing at England.
莫德跟史蒂芬，
There was no sign of Jack, but I got news of a new kind of cathedral being built in Saint-Denis, just north of Paris. It was possible that Jack had gone there to learn from the craftsmen. That was, if he hadn't travelled further south, looking for work in one of the many churches in Tours, the hometown of Saint-Martin.
圣丹尼在建大教堂，所以有可能杰克去那边当学徒了，但是他也有可能去图尔。图尔看看。经过2个月的艰苦跋涉，法国中部，我觉得我应该找到了哦，不然怎么会有这么大的排场？问问周围的人是不是？好哦，先问这个看
I should
起来
talk
重
to
要的
him
人物。
first. Good day. Are you the master builder?
What is it?
I'm looking for a mason who may have passed through here. An Englishman with carroty hair. He calls himself Jack Jackson.
A redhead?
Yes. Did you see him? He might have asked for work here.
No, I'm not looking for new masons. We're just doing repairs.
新工匠
But was he here?
No, never seen him. Now, stand back, woman. Something could fall on your baby's head.
可以跟工人谈谈吗？
May I talk to your workers?
No, they're busy. And I can assure you they have nothing to say on that matter.
Perhaps I'll talk to them once they've finished for the day.
It would be a waste of time.
哦，这一句
You hesitated when I mentioned a redhead. Are you sure you haven't seen him?
Yes, I am sure.
Are there other construction sites around Tours?
Well, yes, it's a big town.
And where would an outsider most likely find a job?
Dunno. Ask around.
这监工好烦哦。
All right, he was here.
说了。
Was working for me, but I had to throw him out after 2 or 3 days.
Oh.
Why?
Because he was all want. Let me redesign the roof, let me make the nave lighter. All pretty ideas, but he never shut up long enough to do the work he was supposed to do. Shit, that man was almost as needy as my son when he was still a brat.
He does know a lot about his craft.
Well, I know masons like him. They grow up gifted, but without a mote of discipline in their guts. Can't work with someone like that.
Do you know where he went next?
就是一
No
个
idea.
设计
Maybe
的
to
人，
Limoges or Angoulême,
常会天马行
maybe
空
even
啊。
to La Rochelle. Seemed to have plans for every cathedral on God's green earth, but none for himself.
I understand. I'll leave you to it then.
Bon voyage.
他刚说法文吗？走了。所以没找到啊，谢特啊。他好像提到的是利摩日。
We had just left Tours when I suddenly felt dizzy. I stopped and made rest, trying to catch my breath,
Oh.
then lost my breakfast in a ditch at the side of the road.
他看起来脸色好差啊。
To my horror, our baby too had grown pale, his breath shallow like that of an old man. I tried not to panic, but the next inn was a long distance away and we couldn't stay on the road where it was wet and cold.
好像不妙哦。所以返回休息好了。
Back in Tours, the fever got worse. I remember people carrying me into a room, laying me on a bed. I tried to feed my baby, but after that, everything turned into a blur.
哇，
When I awoke, Jack was standing next to my bed.
杰克，
He scolded me for following him. You know you could go anywhere you want, he whispered. Why be stupid
做
and
梦还
follow
是真的
me?？I tried to answer, but he just opened the window and jumped out, heading toward ancient Greece, or maybe all the way to Arabia. And in my feverish mind, I followed him.
哇，发生什么事了？什么？我现在怎么变那么红啊？希腊 ，Go！ 哇，地图变好大啊！
The
金丝
further
不
I
离
went,
奇
the
的那边。
angrier I got. For years, I'd been fighting for my family. I'd committed myself to an oath to my father. I'd built up a business to sustain it, and even married a man I despised so I could create a future for the people around me.
这是在做梦。
I'd known nothing but my duty to the men in my life, while the man I was trying to find lived a life of casual irresponsibility. He traveled the world on a whim to learn about mathematics and philosophy, while I had to raise the child he'd fathered.
我觉得这在现代的话，这样子的会被说是三宝啊。自己选择了要跟那个他哥哥结婚的。
When could I ever do anything just for myself? I asked the world as I went on.
不过也是他身世比较惨一点。哦，我不能去这吗？那回去好了，金斯布里奇。
I traveled in a circle all the way to the edge of the world and back, only to return to the place of our failure. With my eyes closed, I listened to the sound of ripping yarn and crumbling walls, and of coaches carrying good people away into a cloud of crimson dust. When the last moat had settled, I opened my eyes again and found myself in a dirty little room. An old maid was sitting next to my bed and smiled at me, then handed me my baby.
所以他一定只是做梦而已吧？
Oh dear God, he still looked so pale.
喂奶。
I tried to feed him, but he refused.
他不吃。
Oh, please, God, let him live. Don't punish him for my own sins.
应该不会死掉吧？
I gently caressed his head until finally he put his mouth to my breast and drank more and more, becoming greedier with every swallow. We had both been spared. We rested one more day. Then I gathered my things and headed back to the cathedral to thank the Lord for his mercy.
没事没事。要去祷告一下，问问他去哪里拜好了。这个圣母玛利亚应该可以。
I thank you, dear Lord.
All right, steady
I thank
now.
you for having spared my child. I thank you for...
Don't let go until it's done.
But why are you showing mercy on me? I failed everyone I cared about. I failed Jack. I failed my brother. And if I never return, I would also break the oath I had given Father. It's just that I feel like I've never had a life of my own. I've always fought for others. And this may be the very first time that I fight for something that I only want for myself. Maybe I should just go back and help rebuild Kingsbridge. Maybe Jack doesn't even care for me anymore. Amen.
他们的祷告是抱怨吗？好，那个雕像是什么？
I've seen one of those before.
It's amazing, isn't it? The man who did that really had it in him.
杰克吗？杰克做的吗？
Had what in him?
The spirit of a true Mason. It's a shame that the master let him go. In just 1 month, he did so many things.
所以他到底
The
待多
master
久？
builder said he'd fired him after just 3 days.
Did he? Well, maybe that's how he remembers it. The two didn't really see eye to eye, you know? To tell you the truth, everyone thinks that he feared for his own job having someone like that around. The last thing Jack did was carve that corbin. It was the one thing the master let him do. Then when he was done, he was asked to leave.
Your master said he had no discipline.
Let me tell you something. Jacques worked very hard on it. He was impatient and had a temper, but you could see that he tried to overcome it. Conquering that rock was very important to him.
Oh, I understand that so well. Do you happen to know where he went next?
He wanted to walk the pilgrim trail to Santiago de Compostela.
The Camino? The way of St. James?
朝圣之路。
He said he might find someone there who knew his father.
Just one more thing. How was he when he left?
Never thought about that. Relieved, I guess. He seemed ready for something new.
Thank you so much for your help.
Think nothing of it. And good luck on your travels. May you find what you are looking for.
有机会哦。远方怎么变简体字啊？
Isn't it odd? Just when you stop looking, you come across the most curious of things. Like these 3 devices that one of my merchants brought back from Baghdad. Oh no. Is it another one of your
巴努
Banusa toys,
巴
Rashid?
努缪萨玩具。
They're not toys, Adriel. They're objects of scholarly ingenuity and reflection. I will let my valued friend from the north do the honors.
哟，杰克，
Jack, if you may.
他要干嘛？那个雕像是什么？
For one, let me draw your attention to the magnificent songbird on the table.
鸣鸟仙是不是？
On second thought, why don't you save the lady for last? Otherwise, the other two devices might appear bland and boring in comparison.
I agree.
And then, to that wondrous donkey next to the entrance.
哈，
Although, the most astounding thing of all stands right between them.
驴子，
That statuette. Haha, precisely. But, one thing at a time,
到底从哪一个开始？
let us let Jack decide what to demonstrate first.
驴子，驴子。哎，等等，没按到。
Rashid, when this is done, would you give me the statuette in exchange for my slingshot?
Only if you can tell me how she works.
It's a deal.
And you finish the performance for my friends. Yes, go on, please.
男生弹弓换啊，那然后呢？绝不能让他知道。他要干嘛啊？到底？那我先装水。然后放回来。
And now, Jack will heat the water in the tank.
加热是不是？好哦。烧了吗？
It's so beautiful it will make you cry. Just listen.
巴奴缪萨是谁呀？波斯裔的3位学者。9世纪的时候，生活在巴格达，有一本书叫做《奇妙装置》，是他们的著作，讲的是器械跟自动装置的机械原理。但是装置大部分是用来娱乐的，他们的设计十分创新。他们还写了天文学、占星术，还有几何学。这应该是真实事件吧？对伊斯兰跟欧洲的数学有很大的影响。
Well, how marvelous!
How does it work?
Maybe it's a miracle.
Miracle,
Right.
magic.
Go on, Jack. Tell them.
他被写令附体了，正常解释吧。
There's a hidden wheel inside the box. It turns an axle that in return raises and drops a sequence of small cylinders inside. These cylinders work like fingers playing a flute.
But who is blowing into the flute?
Steam.
Steam.
Yes. When I opened
Steam
the
还可以买
pipe,
游
it
戏哦。
gradually pushed itself into the tube.
The power of steam. For once, I must agree. This is brilliant. Of course! It was created by a Muslim after all. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What else have you got, Rashid?
Anyone care for some tea?
Thank you, my daughter. We will have some as soon as Jack has finished our presentation.
Mind if I watch?
Of course not.
So, who is this man, Rashid?
展示3个装置。
Jack is a friend of the house.
再来一次，是不是？
A brilliant man, a scholar and a talented artist.
I could watch this man scoop up water all day.
Just the other day, he explained Euclid to me. What is that? A Greek who wrote a book
You
called
showed it
The
to us
Elements
already.
of Geometry.
哎，看过了就不能再看了。
The Egyptians translated it into Arabic, and now the Englishmen are turning it into Latin.
换驴子。
peculiar.
然后呢？
Now watch the head.
头，驴子的头。
Just any moment now. There. Did you see?
那是什么？
Threw up. Rashid, this is disgusting. Oh, far from it. Would you kindly explain how it works, Jack?
纯粹就是魔法，另外一个都是随便的耶。不过我想要
You
听
see
真
that
实的
bowl。floating on top of the water? At the bottom of that bowl is a small hole. Through it, the bowl is slowly filled with liquid. Once it's full, it sinks, pulling a string which makes the ball drop onto a weight. This, in return, pulls the bowl up again, emptying it in the process.
Thus resetting the
完了，这个我
entire
听不懂。
mechanism.
If you timed it perfectly, you could make it drop a ball at every hour.
Turning it into a clock. How clever.
那水的重量吗？
For me, it's still nothing more than a puking donkey.
他吐一颗球啊，
Show us more,
说呕
Rashid.
吐。
One could join those two and build a singing donkey clock. One song after every hour.
聪明的点子。
That would be pretty clever.
I know, right? You could be the one to build it.
真的假
Oh,
的？
that would be unfair. It's your invention.
I would let you have it. Or we design it together.
You still haven't shown us that statuette yet. Of course. Jack, if you may.
雕像哦。哇，雕像要怎么用呢？要怎么用？
Oh, you will love this.
拿走了，
Just watch.
我得把它放在阴凉的地方。小桌子。哦，不要让它照到那个光。
And now?
Just be patient, but don't look away.
哦，
It
这样就
takes
好了。
some time for her to...
To do what?
Is it crying? Isn't that amazing?
No, it's irritating. Rashid, what is
冰融化吗？它很神秘。
It's a mystery.
Rashid, please.
We all know that there is no such thing as a man-made miracle.
And this piece of wood is very clearly made by man.
I very much agree, my friends. But so far, none of us has an explanation.
All we know for certain is that her glassy eyes shed tears when you move her
Holy
from warmth into
眼睛。
cold.
Like a plant at sunrise. Like dew. The only difference is the surface. That's all.
让它继续。
I think you may be onto something.
Am I? Of course, I had no intention of disturbing your conversation. But if you can find out why there's dew gathering on a plant, you may understand why that woman is so weepy.
Oh.
So, who wants a cup of tea?
I'll have some.
Your daughter is quite something, Rashid. A
杰克
scholar
你
in her own right.
想干嘛？
I know. I'd rather she wasn't. It would make marrying her off so much easier.
Oh, I'm certain that won't stay a problem for long.
Maybe the dew originates from invisible water in the air. Water that stays hidden when it's hot.
天气热的时候会蒸发掉。在圣地亚哥朝圣之路3个月后。
The pilgrim trails across France converged at Osterbat in the
阿莲娜
foothills
要
of
来
the
了。
Pyrenees. There, the group of 20 or so pilgrims who had been travelling alongside me since I'd left Tours swelled to about
朝圣
70.
队伍好多人哦。
Some were prosperous citizens, some probably on the run from justice, a few drunks, and several monks and clergymen. Several languages were spoken, including Flemish, a German tongue, and a southern French language called Op. Nevertheless, there was no lack of communication among them, and as we crossed the Pyrenees, they sang, played games, told stories, and in several cases had love affairs. While my baby and I kept mostly to ourselves.
哇，他小孩都几岁了？快1岁了吧？
Ganz schön frech, die mit ihrem Kind.
有说德文。
Hush now.
哭不停了。哼曲子好了。
Richtig dreist.
不知道在说什么。
Kann ein Mann nicht einfach mal seine Ruhe haben?
他们到底在说
Der
什么？
Weg aus Badenberg war doch anstrengend genug.
I'm sorry. He has to cry himself out before he'll fall asleep. It will give you a strong voice one day, won't it? Do you have children?
哦，他们会英文啊。出去走走。
Ein Kind hat ja auch gar nichts verloren. Stimmt doch, oder?
Jetzt ist's aber gut.
“下游河畔。 这人在干嘛？
Dear Lord, what are you doing? You should get out of the water. It's freezing.
My ring! I lost my ring! Dear Lord, please show mercy.
戒指不见了。哇，感觉要帮他。
Come back to me. Please come back to me.
没有。
Where are you? Where did you go?
我只能是这找，它这里也可以。哦，这里亮亮的。 找到了，给他。
I found it.
Yes! Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You are a very kind woman. So very, very kind.
I'm glad I could help.
Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Are you getting warmer?
I am, thank you.
I can see this ring is very precious to you.
It was a gift from my stepmother. She thought I would stay forever, but I didn't.
继母。
Tell me about your stepmother.
She was such a kind woman. So very, very kind.
Why did you leave?
Oh, I thought I didn't belong. She always said I was her daughter, but I was sure she was lying. I was so selfish and so stupid. Too stupid to see I really was happy.
Maybe you really weren't happy.
I don't know. I was very young and thought I was unhappy because I didn't live close to the sea. But in the end, the sea did not feel the same about me. The cold there made me sick. It took away my sight.
Why didn't you go back?
She had been so angry when I left. So angry and disappointed. She would have never let me return.
Ah, that's why you went on the pilgrimage.
Yes, so that St. James might see my devotion, and I will be united with my mother in heaven. I'm just not as kind as you. Not kind at all.
You're too hard on yourself.
I don't know.
I, too, am trying to make amends with the one man I loved the most. I was told he went straight to Santiago.
You will know soon.
Not soon enough. It's still 4 weeks till I get there.
走路去好久哦。
He'll be there, I'm sure of it.
I hope so. I just feel that with every day that passes, I'm losing him a bit more. And that the only thing I can allow myself still to hope for is not love, but forgiveness.
I understand.
Hey, hush now. Not long now and our journey will be over, hmm?
对的，第3章第3卷了，朝圣之路，就是一条专门去这个大教堂的朝圣路线。加里斯都卷轴。真实存在的朝圣之路吗？我可以直接去吗？只能去了。
The woman's name was Alba. She came from a small town somewhere in Catalonia, I quickly got used to her constantly feeling out for her stepmother's ring and the sad guilt that would always follow in her milky eyes. I wasn't sure if she appreciated my company, but I couldn't leave her on her own either. By the time we reached Los Arcos, she'd stopped talking, while I kept on dropping a kind word here and there to let her know I was still by her side. Alba believed herself to be of weak mind and body, and yet she walked the Camino with a strong sense of purpose that willed her onward. It made me wonder about what I'd told her about my own journey. Did I hope for love, or was I really traveling because I needed him to forgive me? But what was there to forgive? My decision to marry Alfred had been in the best interest of the people of Shiring. It was a sacrifice I had to make to stop the evil reign of William Hamley. These questions had haunted me for a long time now. But if I really was going to see Jack soon, it was time to make up my mind.
好难决定哦，还可以回去，是吗？
Around Lyon, the path began to gradually turn uphill. It was only 2 more weeks till we'd reached Santiago. The baby was in a good mood, and so, surprisingly, was Alba.
好远哦，这一条。
After Astorga, the trail got more difficult. Alba became slower and slower, and we had to rest more. She became quiet again. The strain on her old body grew, and she worried that she might not be able to reach the end. Still, we managed to push onward. The next morning, she refused to get up. Her breathing was disturbingly shallow, and she hardly noticed me touching her forehead. Everything hurts, she said, and urged me to continue without her.
哇，怎么办？哇，怎么办？陪她。
Of course, I stayed with her. I brought her food and water and sat by her side. But day after day, her condition grew worse. She kept on urging me to go, to find Jack, saying the monks of Ponferrada would take care of her.
哇，感觉好像会错过什么。好吧，离开。
I was about to leave when a monk stopped me. He urged me to stay at least for another day, and feeling that he was right, I remained.
为什么呢？
I'd hardly known her, and most of the time she'd tried to push me away, as if she considered herself a nuisance that slowed me down and who didn't deserve company. It wasn't until a few moments before she died that, for the first time, she smiled at me, and I like to believe that she saw me smile back. I still like to believe that here, in this unlikely place, dying next to a near stranger, she'd found a moment of serenity and happiness,
过世了。
but she'd not reached Santiago. When I left, that thought still haunted me. To see that a journey could come to an end so suddenly. But what would be different if she had reached Santiago? Could she have been disappointed by what she found?
我觉得不会失望。毕竟她走了这么长的路，其实，而且她又那么老了，她的继母应该也过世了。 所以他只是找到一个心灵的救赎，我是这么认为的啦。这应该到了吧？在圣詹姆斯之路上跋涉1个月。
finally reached Santiago de Compostela. In the evening, we attended Mass in the great cathedral, then started to roam the town looking for my dear Jack. It was almost dawn when finally a priest pointed me to an inn close by.
看看是否在这。罐子，这可以干嘛？不能干嘛？旅店老板问问他。
Buenos dias. Do you understand me?
Buenos dias. 西班牙文呢？
Sinto choven, pero non temos camas disponibles.
No, I don't need a
他怎么
room.
知道？
I was
我看不
told
懂
a。friend of mine stayed here some time ago. A red-haired Englishman called Jack. Do you remember him?
Eu só che falo en galego, miña rula.
Français? English?
好难哦，谁听得懂？哦，可以问吗？
I'm looking for a man who likes to read a lot.
E logo anda sempre cun libro en riba.
Have you seen anyone like that?
Pero, por que levas un libro en riba? Basta escangallar co peso.
She doesn't even understand that I'm looking for a person yet.
好难哦，如何沟通？问他。
Oh, que cousiña! Eche rubio.
See, redhead.
Oh, Rubio.
Have you seen his father, Padre del Niño? Jack Jackson?
Ven sendo un peregrino?
What?
É un peregrino?
Oh, no. He's not a pilgrim.
好朝圣者吗？
Entón, quen ven sendo?
哇，好难哦。指着某个东西。
Let me show you something.
纸罐子。
He likes to craft things, like jars or strange machinery.
Ai, que diantres andará a dicir a muller esa?
好，寻求协助。
Oh, can you help us translate?
O inglés non cho falo, desculpa.
他说不行吧？糟了，没有别人可以讲，指着旅社。
I was told he used to stay here.
Dis que o rubio está aquí? Ah, xa sei a quen andas a buscar. Xurxo!
好。
Que foi?
O raparigo este é che fillo teu?
Pois, non che sei. Case que non, eh?
这一段西班牙
No,
文
he's not the man I'm
都没有
looking
翻译，
for.
好难呢。
Semella que desta aínda zafas.
指着大教堂。
He's a mason. He builds things like that.
好难解释哦。
Ah, é che masón. Albanel.
See, a mason. It's the same word in Galician.
Mason.
Por aquí pasan unha morea de masóns.
Masóns.
Non me poderías dicir algo máis sobre el?
Oín falar dun masón que dis que se dedica a traducir libros en Toledo.
Polo visto, di que se chama Jack.
Oh,
Yes,
Jack 了。
Have you seen him?
Non sei cal será o seu apelido, pero ben é certo que non chai moitos masóns rubios aos que lles guste ler. Se tan desesperada está, por que non vai a Toledo a comprobalo por si mesma?
Entón, marchou para Toledo.
Oh, Toledo. Toledo.
He went to Toledo?
A Toledo marchou, sí.
Di que o teu Jack podería estar en Toledo.
All right, so I will go to Toledo then. Gracias. I just pray that I understood you correctly.
希望是这样。这里好远哦。哦，直接去了。离开约1个月，好久哦！天哪！托莱多。
Buenos dias. Parlez-vous français? English?
Of course. How may I help you?
I was told a man named Jack Jackson lives in this house.
Who told you this?
A group of scholars living at the edge of town. They said he used to translate old scriptures about mathematics before he moved here.
Please wait here. I will talk with Master Rashid.
哦，找到了。喷泉。玩水。
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
房子呢？哦，有蜥蜴耶！过来，过来，过来！哎，不见了。喜欢柱子吗？
Wouldn't that be perfect for us? A cool shade protecting our heads from the sun.
监拱。
I'm certain your father yearns to build something like this.
房子。
Imagine living in a house like this.
想住这里是不是？还有哪里可以走？渡口。所以我只能走这里吗？还是玩玩水吧。
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
就不能再进去了吗？哦，可以张望、偷看啊，是这里耶！走进来吗？走进来，弹弓。
Ah, it's his.
偷走了，偷东西。有这个证据就够了，干嘛要拿啊？杰克来过这。
Imagine living in a house like this.
出去。啊，他被他发现了吗？跑到屋子里偷弹弓。
Oh, there you are. May I ask who let you stroll around our house?
Oh.
I was asked to wait here.
Yes, my servant told me already. My father's not here at the moment, so you'll have to make do with me. Unfortunately, I must disappoint you.
Huh?
There's no one called Jack living in this house.
Huh?
He must be here. I found his slingshot.
What? Who allowed you inside my father's archive?
I didn't mean to be disrespectful of your hospitality.
I just hope for your sake you didn't touch anything. Every piece in there is precious to my father, even that slingshot. I'm sorry, but this is not easy for any of us.
Huh?
I think you should know that Jack and I are promised to each other. Maybe we should go inside. The sun's burning, and my mother doesn't need to hear us.
是假的。
Jack told me about you. You are Aliena. You're the one who rejected him and married his stepbrother. And now you want him back.
I need my son to meet his father.
His father? The little one is Jack's son.
He is.
至少看一眼吧。
He always said that he had come here to find out about his family. But instead, he found out about everything else. About philosophy, mathematics. When he and my father met, it was love at first sight. They studied together and made great plans. But in the end, Jack would always start talking about his cathedral again. This great church he would build one day. Rib vaults and pointed windows. He'd ramble on about it for hours and stare up at that ceiling. We three sat here for hours and talked. And then in the evenings, it would be just the two of us. So many strange ideas about the future. Some barely more than silly dreams. Others almost in arm's reach.
You're talking about him as if he were gone.
Oh?
Well, he's not here anymore.
真的不在这。
My father had offered him work as a master builder here in Toledo.
Oh?
He would have been well off and free to spend his evenings under vaults
所以他
like
也没有
this,
结婚。
with me as his wife. But in the end, he refused. Tell me, did you really marry his stepbrother?
It was the hardest decision I ever made. But it also felt like a sacrifice I had to make to fulfill a promise I made to my father. It was all for nothing. I thought I had no choice. I didn't want to hurt him. Believe me.
I do. You know, he left me because of you.
Oh. 真开心。
Even after all you did to him, he couldn't let go. You can be glad that you ran into me and not my mother. She was enraged when he left.
He can have that effect on people.
But apart from that, we made our peace with him. Father even gave him one of his favorite pieces of his collection as a parting gift. A small wooden statue with stone eyes in exchange for his slingshot.
Would you mind telling me where he went?
He went to Paris to
好麻
work
烦
on
哦
the cathedral of Saint-Denis.
所以一开始就在
He
巴
said
黎
he
啊。
never found out about his father, so there was no reason to stay down here anymore.
Paris?
Yes. If you find him there, tell him I don't miss him.
Thank you, and all the best to your family.
Thank you. What is the child's name, by the way?
还没去。
He has none yet. I wouldn't name him without Jack.
Isn't that a bit silly?
Maybe. But he's his son as well as mine. It's his right to have a say in it too.
Then off to Paris. That baby needs a name.
He will get one.
终于啊
Thank you.
到处跑来跑去的。他应该自己就会走到了吧？我还要这样绕哦，好远啊！
I travelled back along the way of St. James, passing through Astorga, Lyon, and Burgos. I crossed the Pyrenees, revisiting Bordeaux, Angoulême, Poitiers, but never stayed longer than one night. The closer I came to Paris, the stronger my old doubts and fears resurfaced. If Jack really was there, what was I to say to him?
应该过1年了吧？肯定会给他一个巴掌。给一个巴掌会不会太过分？
Before we could walk on again, in whatever direction that would be.
又3个月，所以过了1年多了吧？巴黎，大教堂，圣丹尼教堂。 结果弹弓我还是拿走了，这么坏。工匠，我已经快要看不到这个图了。
No, I'll find him myself.
真
They'll
假的
only tell me to leave. They always do.
好哦，那就到处走走了。 这个不就这个人吗？就是他，杰克。不能跟他说话吗？弹弓，不能跟这人说话吗？
There, there. Are we awake then?
就在旁边呢。
Look at these colourful windows. Look at the light.
Wow.
Ali.
We came to see you, Jack.
We? Is he?
He is your son.
My son?
哇哦，说不出话，找了这么久。
I'm sorry.
真的会说不出话。
It's not your fault. Ali, where do we go from here?
Wherever we go, I want to go with you.
Will you marry me? Both of you.
We will. We stayed in Paris as husband and wife. And our son, Tommy.
好感动的重逢。
The days went by quickly. Jack had learned much working as a builder in Saint-Denis. Days became months. Then after a year, we both grew restless. Where can we go from here, we asked ourselves again. We both confessed that we wanted to see our families, our friends. And then we knew where we wanted to go. Home.
近似不离其宗
Even if it was in shambles.
色堡港口要开回去了。
We need to hurry. The ship to England will leave soon.
What's going on here?
Whatever it is, if the crowd doesn't clear up, we'll miss our ship.
哇，我还要离开这是不是？安抚众人。神父。
Do you know what's going on?
Oh, chaos. I can't get these people to calm down. God knows I tried.
What happened?
The jongleur told the crowd a few stories. Then he sold people some miracle charms, but it was just fairy tales and painted stones.
It always is.
Oh.
I know, but I'd need a real miracle to calm them down now. Otherwise, they'll rip him apart.
哦，行李可能有用的东西是，他是个贼。
This isn't the right place.
嗯，要放哪？我们的乡土。拿了什么？盒子内部可以保暖，木头有点潮。哦，这个，这个。
She doesn't do anything yet, but if I stood with her where it's colder...
现在什么都还没做，但是如果跟他一起变凉，所以要温暖一点吗？没办法跟他说话。弹弓，打他。
No, that would only get me in trouble.
我们的马车。
Could make the horse get their attention.
Or ride it through the crowd.
That sounds a bit dangerous, doesn't it?
You think?
Oh, what a remarkably foreign-looking likeness of the Holy Virgin.
Do you think this might calm them down?
I've already tried appealing to their faith. It would require a direct word from God to calm them down.
Excuse me?
What's going on here?
He's a thief. He told us lies and stole our money.
But isn't that just a simple jongleur?
That poor man. We need to help him.
哇，到底要怎么帮？阴凉的地方，这里。
You see? It's working.
Your friend Rashid must be quite the miracle worker.
他都流泪了，这样，然后大家就会说这奇迹啊。
What's going on? The Holy Mother. She's crying.
Revere the Holy Mother, for she has blessed us with a sign from the heavens. Cease your doings right now and witness the miracle.
It's
真好用啊，这个。
What in heaven? Why is she crying?
因为我们赶上传，应该是行为吧？因为我们要上传。
She weeps for your sins.
What has this man done to you that you would treat him like a wild animal?
He tricked us and took our coin.
And you would kill him for your own foolishness.
The Holy Virgin weeps, for you are not living by the word of God.
It is the Mother of God.
Forgive us, Holy Mother.
Where did she come from?
编个故事。
For hundreds of years, she languished in the land of the Saracens. Dormant, she has been waiting for the one to bring her home.
Listen to what he has to say. The Holy Virgin has chosen this young family to protect her. Tell us all where you are headed.
Her destination is beyond these waters. In the small town of Kingsbridge, in the earldom of Shire. There she wants to rest.
Kingsbridge? Where's that?
Hail Mary!
Make way for the Holy Virgin!
Hallelujah!
Make Robert well!
Huh? Blessed Mary, let my daughter conceive.
Give us a good harvest!
They're donating to ask for her blessing.
Oh. The weeping Madonna shall hear your prayer. And with your donations, I shall build her a new shrine at Kingsbridge, a cathedral.
这个人是谁？
It's you.
谁啊？
Who do you mean?
You. The red-haired ghost.
Me? A ghost?
My husband is very much alive. I've known him since he was 12 years old.
But he drowned. By God, you drowned. 24 years ago. On the white ship. My poor son.
哦，是他妈妈，杰克的
His
妈
name
妈。
was Jacques.
Jacques Cherbourg.
Jack Sherburne.
哦，找到了。这15章好长啊！也12点多了，今天就到这边，下一次继续。